Yo Boomers and welcome back to week 6 of the PUL. Today we're facing Devilgamer 0958 and the Melbourne Staryus. The team he brought was like exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah, I was just thinking he would bring exactly this team. And I knew my leader was going to be Garchomp. It has the rocks. Rocks are real good versus him, so I lead Garchomp because his lead would probably be the Zerora, the thing no one can pronounce. And if he has Ice Munch or Hidden Power Ice, I can eat it up because I have a Yacha Bear. So I lead off. He does lead the Zerora, and I set up my rocks because if he goes for a Hidden Power Ice or something, um, yeah, I can eat that, and then I can switch into my how do you call it? Switch in Tangrowth, because that thing eats every hit, and I go for the Stealth Rock. King Tut as Kovac comes in, and I know King Tut is going to go for a Will-O-Wisp, so I go into Evoltol because it specs it Dark Pulse, it hits it 2-hit KOs everything on his team, and Oko's his Kovac, so I go into Yveltal. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp. He connects it, so that's well, yeah. I mean, it should connect, and gets 6% of chip. He goes for the Protect to get an extra turn of burn chip. I mean, I can't blame him, and I just go for another Dark Pulse because it it just gives me a kill if I click Dark Pulse twice here or one time. Okay, so he dies to a Dark Pulse, and yeah, that's really good. I get another turn of burn chip, and he goes into his Kyurem. And while playing the game, he brought Kyurem in like 2 seconds after that. So I'm like, this I will bet myself this thing is scarfed. So I go into Toxapex because it has a sugar berry. It can eat every hit if it's scarfed. So it clean eats the ice beam. We get frozen though, which is a bit unfortunate because I wanted to set up a layer of toxic spikes to make sure Kyurem Black can't come in um, 4 times on rocks, and Zerora would get some nice chip. But now I have to Scald. He goes into his Zerora. I get some Ithol because of the Scald, and I get some clean chip, but not a burn, no problem. So I went into Tangrowth because it's my switch in. He goes for the Plasma Fist. I mean, this is Bart's Italian, so he eats it up 24%, does nothing. I click Sleep Powder here to get something asleep. Mega Mawile comes in, that's really good. Probably expecting a Giga Drain or something, and he falls asleep. So I go into Reggae Shark, the legend, because this thing can threaten it out with an EQ. And here I need to pause it real quick because his switch in. So my obvious place to go for EQ, an EQ 2-hit KOs Stack Attacker. I think it Oko's Zerora 2-hit KOs, or even I think it KOs at this range. It KOs Kyurem White because that thing is after Stealth Rock's really low, and he probably doesn't want to risk that. And Vikavolt is immune to EQ, so I think I'm going to go for a play. So you would think I would Dragon Claw, but I had Crunch for the crest and for Kovac. So I went for the Crunch because Crunch hits the Vikavolt and Crunch into Dragon Claw KOs. So that's really good. And if he stays in, Crunch also does damage and Dragon Claw doesn't. So Crunch, if I want to make this play, Crunch is my best play. So I go for Crunch. I do. Yeah, I nailed the prediction. I go for Crunch, get some clean chip. I see Dragon Claw does KO, so I go for Dragon Claw here. And he goes into Stack Attacker. So I see no Balloon, that's really good. I'm just going to go for an EQ, just do some really good damage. And I see Leftovers, so I'm like, okay, EQ kills, and he dies. So that's really good for me. Reggae Shark already putting in the finest amounts of work. Goes back out into Kyurem. I think I go into Tangrowth here, expecting him predicting the Earth Power on my Toxapex, but he goes for Ice Beam. Thanks to the Yacha Berry, I eat that up. So now I go back into Toxapex, and he clicks another Ice Beam, which is not a play in my opinion. I mean, my switch into Toxapex was really obvious. So here I went for the Toxic Spikes, I think. I needed to make sure Kyurem White couldn't come in could only come in one more time, and I just switch back into Regular Shark. So I EQ and I kill, because there's no reason into predicting the Vikavolt, because if Vikavolt would have came in, I would have Dragon Clawed and outsped, so it's not a problem. Kurum comes in one final time. I go into Toxapex, because Toxapex has the Shuka. If he goes for EQ Earth Power, I mean, I can tank it. He goes for Dragon Pulse, I eat it, and I go for Scald or Recover. Now I recover here. I recover, and I think I can live a T-Bolt here, and I go for Skull, and I turn out to be faster because I had the Trick Room team setting up Trick Room with his Kovac and his stack attacker, so he had a Trick Room team, so this was minimum speed and minus speed, so even my Toxapex was faster, and Toxapex gets the first direct kill of the season, goes back into Zerora. I go back into Tangrowth, Bartito, Yam, because I eat every hit. Close combat, I don't really eat the best, but I do eat it, so I go back into Toxapex here, because I would close combat another time, and here I go into, I think I go into Garchomp on the next, how do you call it, on the next close combat. He makes a really weird play in my opinion, but I mean, he does what he does. Yeah, I'll go into Garchomp to get a rough skin on his next hit, and I go back into Bartito Jan to just tank the last hit. He goes for Plasma Fist. I tank it. So that will be GG. We pick up a nice clean 6-0 over the Melbourne Staryus and Devilgamer, which makes us now sit at 4 and or at 5-2. Oh, I might have forgotten that this is week 7 or something. Well, we're now at 4 or 5-2 with a really good differential. So we'll try to keep it up next week, and